What is going on, everybody? Crypto Ed here, and glad to have all you guys here. It's such a long marathon for some of you guys who were here since the very beginning, but I'm glad that we're close to the end of the first day, and I'm excited to introduce to you Jimmy Cohen. Jimmy's very passionate about impact. He's the founder of, co-founder, is it founder or co-founder of Remake Impact?
Co-founder Remake Impact.
Yeah, you ran it with your brother, right?
Everyone.
Yeah. So
yes, my brother and I founded it together.
Yeah. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Yeah, GM everyone. It might not be morning where you are, but it is currently 2:10 in the morning here in Kenya. That's where I am right now. I'm a social entrepreneur. I've been funding clean water projects for 7 years. We've now pioneered the world's cheapest water solution, the biosand filter. I've always been a very strong believer that one person can only make so much impact. It really takes a community, it takes a movement to solve giant issues like the clean water crisis. And that is why I'm so passionate about NFTs, because it's creating this tremendous container for these communities to form with so much energy and potential to make huge positive impact. So I really want to share that with everyone today. Thank you so much for everyone who has stuck around to the last session here. I'm gonna give you a little incentive. Everyone who stays until the end of this fireside chat, I'm going to be sharing a way to get access to tens of thousands of dollars worth of online courses for free. These are courses for personal and business success. A lot of them you might be familiar with. These are shared, and also a way to get access to 14,000 angel and impact investors. So these in addition, social enterprise incubator. Whatever you want to pursue in the world, if it's making a positive difference, we have incredible minds from all around the world, from Rotary Club, business experts, who can support you to achieve that. And I'm going to be sharing a link to that. We can get access to all these things for free at the end of this fireside chat. So stick around.
All right. Yeah. Really love your energy, and I love your generosity, and also I just love the work you're doing. I mean, like tell us a bit about your how you started with with NFTs, and also why water. I mean, like.
Sure. Yeah. So water. Okay. To answer why water and how water changes everything, I'm going to share a brief little story. So my first ever fundraising experience was for a school over in Cambodia. This was back in high school. I was studying in Japan, and a group called Hope International had approached us, and they said, hey, if a group of 10, 15 of you raise about $100, you can fund a new school, which is really needed over in Cambodia. And so we all fundraised in our own ways. I was hustling pizzas. I got a free truckload of pizza delivered to our school. I made a partnership with the head of the cafeteria to store and prepare the pizzas. So we didn't sell during lunchtime. That was our deal. And ended up raising a few $1,000s that way. We flew over to Cambodia to physically build the foundation of the school with the kids who would be studying there. And we're passing bags of sand back and forth, and we got to learn from these kids. A lot of them also wanted to help people like us. But as we were traveling around, we learned that there were other kids who weren't even able to go to that school that we were building because it's their job to carry water back to their families. And this was heartbreaking for me to realize that water really does change everything. You know, it clearly affects health, right? Because it kills thousands of kids every single day, but it also changes opportunities, right? Opportunities to get an education, to start a business, ultimately opportunities to break out of the poverty cycle. So ever since that day, I've been very passionate about clean water, and also because it's a solvable problem. So we were raising funds for clean water for, like I said, 7 years, mostly through events. So at university, I was throwing parties. A person in the chat here, Karis, was actually helping out with those parties at university. They got bigger and bigger, became a nonprofit after student club. We threw a music festival for 4 days. We raised $40,000 in our first year. And then COVID hit. So we did a digital event. We ended up reaching 3.5 million people online. But we finally took a step back from the events, and we reflected what's really important. And to us, that's always been the impact. So my brother and I, we've actually been separated by geography for 13 years, living in different parts of the world. And then we because of COVID, we were locked down in the same area in Vancouver. And we're looking at different charities that we've been funding over the years, and frankly, they weren't spending the money as well as they could be. And we realized with biosand filters, it can be done an order of magnitude cheaper. than what it was. And so we literally despite the pandemic, a one-way ticket to Uganda. And we built these factories for biosand filters. And sure enough, we got the price from like $20 down to $5 at that point. And then we scaled that out. And then now things are pretty crazy in Uganda. And if you saw the news in like November, December elections, people getting shot dead in the streets, like flames and tear gas outside our house. And we then ended up going to Kenya, where we build these large scale biosand filters, which are these giant underground tanks. And we actually just got the water test in yesterday. And our goal was to make it to get water to 4,000 people, but the results are actually even better than we thought. It's actually 5,470 people who can gain access to water from these biosand filters, which brings the cost down to, drumroll please, 53 cents per person. And due to the Rotary Club,
wow.
One person gave us to water for over 30 years. And again, that's another order of magnitude cheaper than any other solution out there. We're applying for the Guinness Book of World Records. And so now we have this incredible solution that we've innovated. It's underground tank, so it has natural reinforcement. You don't have to put pipes in there, stuff like that. So now we're really looking at scaling it all across the Sabaki River, across the African continent and the world. And so we're thinking now, as we're looking into NFTs, how do we scale these solutions? And again, it comes down to community. It comes down to a movement of people. There are many different innovations and solutions that need to still be created. And that's why we're forming these communities online who can all solve not just the water crisis, but all of the sustainable development goals, all of the giant challenges in the world. Impactors, we're calling it, people who are making a positive impact in the world, people who refuse to accept the world the way that it is and decide to make their mark, make their impact to co-create a better world, the world that we all want to live in. So that's why I'm so excited about NFTs, because it forms those communities, because it can be an incredible way to fundraise and also add value to a community. You're not just asking, hey, donate, hey, please give me money to do this thing. It's like, no, let me give you an asset which can go value over time. Let me stack insane utility and value that can make that thing really be of genuine value to the holders and hopefully go up in tremendous value over time to support. And then the beauty of the smart contract is a percentage of that continues to make an impact over time. And that's why I'm so passionate. I'm really passionate about three things, right? It's technology, it's art, and impact. And NFTs is the beautiful synchronicity of those three things coming together. And that I really think can change the world and solve the water crisis in our lifetimes.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the solution that you've developed. I'm not sure for many of the audience, you guys may have recall earlier last month, right? There was this Twitter debate between Elon Musk and I think it was the World Food Foundation, and they were talking about Elon Musk said if you can solve food, you can solve world hunger with a one-time payment, he would write a check, right? But instead he was given a budget showing how can we delay starvation for 1 year, and I think there were a lot of people they were there was a flame war. I don't want to get into flame war, but the whole thing was people want to see they want to see how can we do a one-stop solution, how can we do a one-time payment and solve something once and for all. And it sounds like the water filter solution is going to solve water thirst problem as a one-time solution. Is feeds the whole at least it provides water for the whole village. And I love your passion about how it frees up children to be able to have the childhood, to have the education and all the support they need. So it's pretty cool with what you guys are doing. And do you want to elaborate how you want to get into it? Are you building are you doing an art collection and you building a game, or how are you going about it?
Yeah, I'd love to get into that and the roadmap things that are possible there. Just super quick, when you say that it could be a one-stop solution, I think it's an incredible solution. It's the cheapest solution in the world, but there are multiple water issues, right? There's also salt and desalination. We're also coming up with innovations for that to have more sustainable ways to remove the salt from the water. There are many solutions, but I do think that the community solution, the NFT solution that can form around it, can continue to innovate over time. and also building really sustainable water solutions where they can charge small micro payments, which can not only go towards making sure that that solution is sustainable, it doesn't break down, because a third of the boreholes in the world are actually broken according to the UN, but also it can level up and expand over time, can be that one solution that you were talking about. Okay, so the roadmap, how are we going to do it in the game? I love this. And you know what? I actually kind of want to put the ball in your court here, because yes, we have 100% focus on building this utility and these technological solutions in a game. And you're actually involved in this project in terms of that game. I know you had some really great ideas. And so I want you to share your vision for this game that we're going to be creating. But yeah, so I went to UBC in Vancouver, and I know other people in the chat as well did. But basically, I was approached by my high school friend, university friend, Nikhil, who got his master's in blockchain. And so there's so many possibilities once you have that technical experience. Now we have people in India who are wanting to share their expertise, here in Kenya who have double masters, and they're all just kind of sharing their experience and wanting to be a part of this to build something that's not just going to have that initial fundraising impact, but also, you know, to bring those NFTs into the metaverse, to bring these different experiences that can unlock over time. Personally, I come from the music industry and music festivals, and my partner in our festival is currently building an entire entertainment district for festivals in the metaverse, and building those experiences out. And so that's definitely going to be one of the features, and also having workshops like this, right? It's not just about the music. These are transformational festivals. You might have heard of, you know, Burning Man or Shambhala, some of these festivals where people can come out of those experiences changed in some positive way. A lot of people find their passion, their purpose through some of these transformational experiences and these workshops that allow them to think a different way and discover something about themselves. So that's 100% a part of what we're going to be building as the utility for this. But yes, games, ways to engage with it, 100% a part of it. So you share about the games, Ed. Please tell us.
Yeah, so I actually did I did a number of brainstorming sessions with Jimmy, and like we've came up with a few ideas. We know that there's a lot of money like in the NFT space. People are like spending like how much, like millions of dollars just for a picture of a monkey on the internet, right? Bored apes, right? Some of you guys may know, or maybe we have like all these other like projects, right, that are going for a lot. And at the end of the day, a lot of those are just pictures on the internet. Right. And here's the idea is, what if there's a way we can just take a small bit, right? Maybe just 1%, 0.5%, 0.1%, right? Just a small amount, and actually put into something good, right? And yeah, so Jimmy and I, we've been brainstorming some ideas about like, hey, how can we do in a way, like, can we make like an NFT that is backed by like an active impact, right? Like planting a tree, right? What if we do like an NFT collection based on different trees, right? And every tree NFT you buy, you can, like, a real tree gets planted. Maybe even better, more than just a tree. Maybe like a whole like acre or yard of tree, right, gets planted, right? How awesome was that, right? And then another project we also are brainstorming is a water well, like a water well NFT, right? What if for every water well NFT that is purchased for a game that we're building, right, this well can actually generate a real like water source in real life, right? And now, like, and then we look at the whole like NFT, how do they connect, right? Well, you have trees here, and then you have wells here, right? So what if we create a game where we are planting trees, we're watering trees, and you get paid in like fruit tokens or something, right? So it becomes like a game where like you're having fun, people are having fun, and they're making an impact in real life. So that was the idea I shared with Jimmy, and Jimmy loved this idea. I mean, like, we're still in the early stages, we're still planning more, but I'm putting back my Coinfest host hat on. As I mean, like, I just love the idea of making impact, but I shouldn't be hogging up this whole section.
No, it's all good. I wanted to share the stage with us. Why I really want to go for the fireside chat, because you have a great vision for it. And it's by combining these different ideas and these different capabilities that we can really create something that's meaningful and going to have genuine utility over time. And so that's a really great way to engage people. And you mentioned trees. So the first NFT that we're actually launching, and this is going to be mid-December, by the way, is going to be these NF trees, these mad trees that are going to raise funds for planting trees. Now, this is a partnership with the Rotary Club, who again is matching 2x every single cent that comes in through these philanthropic NFT projects. And the Rotary Club in Kenya, we've actually gotten the trees donated for free by the Kenyan wildlife. This recently happened. So literally all we have to pay for are the boots for people, because we're planting mangroves. The only way to plant a tree, you don't have to water over time. They can always be sustainable. A lot of people plant trees and then it just dies if you don't water it, right? So we either go to schools, but right now it's very hot. So what you have to do is you go to the coast and you plant all these mangrove trees that can reach the water table, and you don't have to water them over time.
Wow.
So we're paying for boots, we're paying for transport, and then snacks for some of the high school students to come out for that. So we brought the cost down. A lot of people charge like $1 per tree. It should be less than 30 cents, maybe closer to 20 cents per tree. Now you imagine we do a successful NFT project that can raise millions of dollars. How many trees we can plant with those funds, especially now that it's also matched 2x by the Rotary Club. So it's a tremendous amount of impact. And again, the utility going forward in the smart contract to make sure every time those NFTs are traded, it continues to make that impact. And yeah, the games are just one of the amazing ways that we can add value to this community and support them. And I really feel like this is going to be my life's work, to just add as much value as possible to change makers. And all of these Rotarians, which is, by the way, a 1.4 million person organization, are also adding as much value they can to support these change makers, right? I alone cannot solve the water crisis. I alone cannot solve climate change, but together we make impact. And that's why our nonprofit is called We Make Impact.
Yeah, and I love the connections that you're forming with Rotary International, because like it is a reason why you mentioned about 1.4 million people like who are passionate about making change, right? Imagine, like, I'm just talking from like a crypto perspective, right? I mean, a crypto maxi perspective. Like, anything that can bring more people in the crypto space, I'm all for, right? If we can bring like people, change makers in the crypto space, I'm especially more for it, because like we can do more, we can make more impact. And I do believe that the crypto space is long overdue for impact makers in the space, because for the longest time, like we had like the cyberpunks, and then we have the degens and all those like people who are like flipping day trading, etc. But at the end of the day, like, you can make a lot of money, but what good is it, like, if the world you're living in is like going down the toilet hole, right? I think it's great if there's a way where people can make impact and also like be part of something that's exciting, right? Being at the forefront of technology, right? And I think personally think if you make money during the journey, I think that's a good side effect. And crypto is that space, right, where you are like you are part of a movement that's defining society, that's defining technology, you define the way how people live, like with metaverses and everything. Yeah, I think, and like if you can make money like while you're at it, right?
Yeah,
I think that's a bonus. And
that's a sustainable way to do it, right? That's why social enterprise is so key. But you mentioned partnerships, and through Rotary, we're forming all these other partnerships in addition for this project. For example, the Rotary already has a memorandum of understanding with the UNEP, right? The United Nations Environmental Program. So that is opening up the door for not just the tree planting project, but then also all the other UN's program, right? The Sustainable Development Goals. So although we're launching with water and trees, we are also having all of these other Sustainable Development Goals, all these other causes as NFTs and utilities. There's all forming under one giant community of impactors. And with these giant NGOs and their reach, there's so much impact that is possible. And I'm so grateful that those partnerships are forming.
Yeah, while you mentioned on the topic of UN and such, I think this is just, I'm just talking like at the top of my head. I think it would be awesome if there's a way for us to like decentralize the UN, right? Bring like blockchain to the UN, right? This is a random idea I'm throwing out there. I think that would be pretty cool, because I think that if more people can be involved, like if the discussion, if the policy making can be if the masses can be involved in the discussion, right? Instead of just like a group of like diplomats like talking in a big room, right? If we can open it up to everybody, I think this would be like it'll be like taking like a DAO to like the highest stage, right? Yeah, a DAO, that'd be cool too. We can do a DAO, but yeah. But I mean, it'll probably take like years to imagine, brainstorm more, but that's pretty cool.
And And one of the other beautiful things about cryptocurrencies is it ties into one of our core pillars of We Make Impact, which is radical transparency. So every single person who donates to We Make Impact, whether it's $20 or $2,000, they get a personalized thank you video from the exact people who were helped, thanking them by name specifically, because we were fed up with the lack of transparency in the philanthropic sector. But with cryptocurrency, you can see which wallet address it goes to, and then which wallet address it goes to after that and after that. The user interface needs work, and we're already working with people to improve that UI so that we can accept Bitcoin, we can accept various cryptocurrencies, and then also show where it flows throughout the with complete trend, right? Very few nonprofits are showing exactly where the money goes and how that could then flow through the economy and how it could be reinvested to make an impact. And so we really are building that UI. But the only way that that can work is if people in the economy are actually accepting all these cryptocurrencies, right? Now, there are a lot of people in developing countries who don't even have smartphones, right? But what they do have is something called USSD. And this is basically a SIM application. Even on a non-smartphone, you can go *234#, type that in, just as an example. There are many codes, and it loads this very simple UI of a menu screen. Now, they have mobile money already, which is backed by cash. You have to go to a physical place, deposit the cash, then you have mobile money, and you can send money. This is already happening to people who don't have smartphones in developing countries to a huge extent. In Kenya, this is like the go-to, right? But imagine now on USSD having an exchange with cryptocurrencies. So you can change your mobile money, which is fiat currency, into wallet through USSD. Now someone who doesn't even have a smartphone can gain access to cryptocurrencies and have a wallet. And then through this UI, you can see exactly how that money flows through the economy. So that's another project that we really want to build longer term to get people access to cryptocurrencies in developing countries who are unbanked and don't even have access to smartphones.
That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. And also on the topic of transparency that when we first started, right? I mean, when we first started, we talked a bit about how Elon Musk challenged the World Food Programs that if they're able to do a transparent disclosure of how $6 billion is going. I mean, the spirit. I'm not going to comment about whether he's doing it as a trolling, but I do feel that a lot of people retweeted. They do feel the sentiment that there's a lack of transparency within either with big nonprofits or within the government. And the thing I love about blockchain is everything is transparent. Everything is out there. Anyone can view it. They can see every single transaction. They can see when it is, where is it at, which wallet is that, who is being paid out to. There's nothing you can't hide this, right? And in an age where there are more skepticism towards government and such, right, about how aid money is going towards karaoke machines. Some of you may have seen that on the CBC, how Canadian $8 going towards karaoke machines instead of provide support for the families affected, right? There's a lot of skepticism, and unless there's a solution that encourages transparency, people will over time become less generous. They'll start hoarding, and solutions like what Jimmy is building, right? With blockchain and such, right? Bring blockchain into the charitable space, into the impact space, right? Will open up some give people more optimism on how that, knowing that the money they're putting in, right, what they're doing, the time they're putting in will go into impact. So really love what you're doing.
Imagine the tidal wave. Thank you. And imagine the tidal wave of impact that will come once radical transparency is achieved in the philanthropic sector. People can see exactly where their money goes and how it flows through the economy. Imagine how many more people would be interested in donating. I mean, the cryptocurrency space, people who are into crypto and buying crypto, they're already substantially more philanthropic than others, right? It's more than 50% of people in crypto have donated over $1,000. And so, but imagine if you had that transparency, like you said, the Elon Musks of the world, so many more people would be willing to donate. And that also ties into NFTs, right? In the smart contract, you can have it hard coded. So every time you donate, this substantial percentage, the vast majority, is going directly towards these this nonprofit wallet, right? And then that can then get matched by Rotary Club, and you can see how that move can be hard coded. So there's no potential for for people trying to steal money, which unfortunately does happen in the space. And that's why people are so skeptical of donating sometimes, not knowing where it's going to go. But you can solve those problems through technology, right? Through cryptocurrencies and through NFTs. So it's a really exciting time to be alive. And thank you so much for everyone who's been watching. I'm going to share a link right now for all of you who've been watching in the chat. It's a bit.ly link. It goes to our Discord. Okay, so it's bit.ly/join impact Discord. This is where you can get, okay, not just the tens of thousands of dollars worth of courses on business success, making money online, personal success, and growth. This is where you can get access to 14,000 angel investors, impact investors, but also mentorship, right? From Rotarians, from business successful people in all parts of the world. It's all going to be right here on this Discord channel, right? And it's like an online incubator for change makers, for people who want to either start a social enterprise or make any form of impact in the world. So make sure you type that link into your browser. Make sure you join the Discord. You don't want to miss out on this. And I would love to welcome all of you into our impact community.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.